Hi everybody, we're back for the new moon in February. The new moon is in Aquarius. We have now entered the Aquarian age. Aquarius is the most healing sign in the zodiac, they say. And for the new moon, Aquarius wants us to work towards change. So, yeah, for us to do the work to make the change. Not just sit back and wait for it to change, but us to do the work to make the change in the most healing way possible. So we don't want to say that we don't like our job or whatever and then pitch a fit and leave and quit. We want to work towards that change, whatever that change may be, whatever we're feeling pulled to change or help make change with in the most loving, healing way possible. So instead of like pitching a fit and throwing your hands up and making a scene and quitting your job, you know, maybe you would contemplate where you would be going, talk to your boss in a friendly manner, put in, you know, a little bit of a notice, or you know what I'm saying. There are ways to handle things. Aquarius wants us to move, to change things, create the change, but do it in the most healing way possible. All right, so again, universal 5-year, lots of movement. It's the beginning of the year, things are moving. There's a lot of negativity going on, which is kind of to be expected in the middle of a year, in the beginning of a year especially, where it's a 5. It's 5-year. The energy is chaotic. So again, if we're going to see resistance to change, right, we're going to see it in things that don't always look so pretty. But we can make a choice to live our lives a particular way and to be kind and compassionate and, you know, not lend to that chaos, but try to create that balance within our own lives and, you know, set an example for our family and our children, one that we can live with and not feel crappy about. So yeah, there's some negativity going on. So the best thing to do is to focus on our own lives. Everything starts with us and radiates out from there. So focus on our lives. Stay positive, keep building and working from that foundation that we started with last year. Keep building upward and moving in just positive directions. Keep our faith, keep tapping in, listen to our higher selves, our guidance, you know, make that connection with God. It's certainly a time that that prayer and love and light and healing is needed. So we can all do our part by starting here and sending it out. All right, so that's the new moon. New moons are always the beginning of a cycle. I so wish it was the beginning of the cycle, bringing us into spring. We just counted the days. I think it's like 38 days before spring. Right now for me, it feels like that's a long ways away. It really isn't, but, oh, anyway, we're in the beginning of a cycle with the new moon, so let's make the best of it. Let's move towards change in the most positive, healing way possible. And let's draw our first card off of the top of the Deviant Moon deck. The Hanged Man. And it's upright. And it should be this way, right? If it was going to be the way it's supposed to be. But it's upright. So, we're in limbo right now. A little bit of limbo. It is what it is. You know, whenever we're in a little bit of limbo and things are sort of up in the air and they haven't settled yet, it is what it is. So we can create resistance to being in limbo. We can use this time to reflect. So if we're in limbo, why not take the time to self-reflect, look within, pull in some practices that help us feel better, do some things, take up some hobbies, do some things that inspire us and give us joy. Being in limbo with things up in the air, this too shall pass, because everything does. Everything does pass. I mean, so as we're sitting in limbo, feeling as though we don't know what to do, like our hands are tied and there's not much that we can do, the Aquarian moon, the Aquarian new moon, is asking us to create movement. The new moon in Aquarius is saying, create movement towards change in a loving, positive, healing manner. So we can do that. We can start there with our own lives. And I mean, why wouldn't we want to, right? So as things seem sort of up in the air as far as what's going on out there, it is what it is. But if things feel up in the air and we feel like we're in limbo in our own lives, we do have the ability to move towards that change. And the Aquarius, the new moon in Aquarius is asking us to do just that. Okay? So there's that. Let's go on to our second card. 2021. I remember last year everybody was like, oh, I can't wait for this year to be over. I can't wait for this year to be over. And I thought to myself, what are they thinking? Are they thinking that everything's just gonna, they're gonna wake up New Year's Day and everything's gonna be all back to the way it once was? Do we really want it to be? I mean, this is not the easiest time because change doesn't come unless we go through some crap, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't change a damn thing. We wouldn't. But do we really want to go back to the way things were? Aren't we learning some things about ourselves? Aren't we learning things about ourselves that we didn't even know existed because of the things that we've been enduring over the last year? And some of those things are pretty cool, huh? And some of those things may be things that trigger us, that we didn't even realize that, maybe some people didn't even realize they were uncomfortable alone with their own company until they were asked to quarantine. And figuring out that you're uncomfortable with your own company is a good thing, because then you can figure out why that is and start to heal it so that you can be comfortable with your own company. And, there's just all sorts of positives that can come from the negatives, and they always do. When do we learn the most? We learn the most when things are hard. It's true. It just is. So here we are in 5 years. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, and we're probably going to learn a lot this year about ourselves. We're going to probably learn a lot about the things that we truly feel and the things that we truly believe. I think a lot of people think that they feel a certain way because they've been told they do, or they're supposed to. But, with all this transitional energy that we're going through, this is the time to really figure ourselves out. And that's exciting, because once we figure ourselves out, we can really start leading our best and happiest life. But we can't really do that until we figure ourselves out. How do we know what makes us happy if we don't even know who we are? All right, second card. Page of Swords. All right, so if you look at the swords, again, the swords are always about the intellect, right? The mind, the ego, the mind, body. All right, so the Page of Swords. Now, if you look a little closer, you'll see that this Page of Swords has the ability to see. He's got this little seeing device. Do you see that? Look at him. All right, so in the Aquarian age, really the most healing age, the age of liberation and freedom, that's what we're all screaming for. That's what we all want. That's what we're all craving, right? So in that age, we've been asked to tap in, right, and get in touch with our higher power, our God, our guides, our higher self, our angels, our spiritual team, all of the wonderful things that God gives us when we come here to help us on this journey. We've been asked over and over and over again to tap into that, reconnect, get back in touch with that. We've been told that's where we'll find our peace. We've been told to look there for knowledge, not to believe the knowledge of man, but to find the knowledge from our higher self and really get to know who we are, you know, balance our lives. Well, with this card, it's get out of that head, right? Use our logic, but we do have the ability to see the truth. We have the ability to see the truth. You see that? And so that's what we need to do. We need to seek the truth. We need to seek the truth within ourselves. We need to see who we really are. What is the truth about us? What's the truth about how we feel? What's the truth about what we want? What's the truth about what moves us? What makes us angry? What makes us sad? What is the truth? Because I think a lot of us have been conditioned and programmed right from the time we're small, from the family that we've grown up in, what they think, see, feel, and believe, or think they do, because they've been programmed too. You know, they implement that on us, and we either adopt it or we get irritated and we rebel it, but often we never really find who we are. So in this new age, the age of Aquarius, it is time for us to look to see the truth. We have that ability. We have that ability. It's time. Use our logic, but also look to see the truth, to really see it, and move forward. Create the movement to move forward out of this place of limbo in the most healing, loving way possible. Create change with love. Create change with healing. Create change with positivity. Okay? So now we're going to go on to our third card. And see what that says. And then, you know, so the new moon is on the 11th, right? It's tomorrow. So this will hit my YouTube channel probably, you know, 1, 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then I'll go ahead and I will put it up on my Facebook pages. But the new moon is tomorrow, but Valentine's Day is coming right up too. So, if Valentine's Day is coming right up and we're doing a new moon reading, I think after we do all of that, I'll pull a positive affirmation for Valentine's Day too. But it will be separate from this, right? Valentine's Day. Now, my cynical old self used to say it's propaganda done for card companies and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But as I have softened in my older years, and I've gotten to know who I am and how I really feel, I discovered I'm actually a hopeless romantic. And I think Valentine's Day is awesome. Whether or not you're with somebody, it's a great day to let the people that you love know that you appreciate them. I think we should be doing that every day, but there's nothing wrong with a special day that says, hey, I probably don't say this enough, probably don't show it enough, because we get busy and caught up, and I think You know, it's typical. We take things for granted. All of us do. So I think it's kind of a nice day to let those people around you know that they're special. And those people that are special that aren't necessarily always around us, that are away, to reach out to them and let them know that they're special too. So, I'm making a mess of the cards. I'm going to do, I say I'm going to do one more shuffle, but we'll see. Yep, no, I lied. We're going to, oh, that card fell, so I'm just going to keep it, and I am going to do one more shuffle, so that'll actually give us 4, but if I felt the need to keep shuffling, then we'll do 4. And yeah, I'm just having a tough time maneuvering these tonight. So we're going to take this one, see what it says. The Lovers. Alright, so that was the next one. Now, if you look at the Lovers, that's a higher arcana card, so that means big picture. And you can see they're enjoying each other quite a bit, right? They're pretty wrapped up. They're a little bit preoccupied. And if you look right down here, they're getting, you know, getting bitten. So what is keeping us preoccupied so that it puts us at risk of not being, you know, safe, or not being, not using our logic and not moving forward to create our best life? What's putting us at risk right there? What are we so preoccupied with that we're missing something? So that's a good question, right? What has got us preoccupied? Now, I know there's a lot going on, and people are feeling really antsy. People are feeling antsy, people are aggravated, people are expressing themselves, misplaced anger. People are feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people are feeling depressed right now. I've been having people reach out to me that they've just got this wide spectrum of feelings, right? But what is it? What is it that's keeping us preoccupied? So are we spending all of our time thinking about COVID? Are we spending all of our time thinking about the impeachment? Are we thinking about the election? Are we thinking about, oh, it's so cold, it's so cold, it's so cold? And, you know, it could be anything. It could be anything from we're over winter and we can't get our heads out of that to, you know, we're paying too much attention to the news and what's going on. So that's sort of taken over our own personal life. We could be paying too much attention to a number of things, but how about we pull back? We pull back out of what's keeping us preoccupied. Even if it seems like, oh, I should be preoccupied with this. We'll pull back and we'll start focusing again on our lives. Now, it's good to be educated and it's good to know what's going on. It's just not always great to be inundated. Inundation isn't good for us. So balance. Remember last year, that's what we were being told over and over and over again, balance. And we're going to really want to implement that skill this year. In this 5-year, we're going to really want to implement balance, because this is the kind of stuff in a 5-year full of change that can happen to us. We can get way too preoccupied with something and we can be missing things that could be damaging to us. So let's pull back and refocus. Refocus. Okay? Now this is the card that fell out. Ooh, what is it that we don't want to hear? Okay, so let's think about that. So all of these spilled emotions, see them all over the place. We're like, no, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. I think honestly, if you want my true opinion, I think this is a good time for us to open up and listen to other people and listen to what's going on around us with compassion. That's what the cups are. Cups are emotions. Let's not be this person, but let's not be this person either, okay? Let's not be the person bitching, but let's also not be the person who doesn't want to hear that other people might feel or think differently than we do, because it's okay. And if someone's trying to help us, let's be open to hearing it. And if, you know, people in our family and our loved ones trying to express themselves to us, let's be open to hearing it. And if they're presenting themselves like this, let's be open to telling them lovingly, because remember, the Aquarian full moon wants us to move forward with change in the most healthy manner. So if we're having people present things to us like that, let's lovingly ask them to kind of rein it down a little bit and talk to us on a level that makes us want to listen and want to hear. It's a healing year, right? Remember when I said the last card read of 2020? It's time to heal. And I think I said it again for the first card read in 2021. It really is. It's time to heal. It's time to heal. And so let's do that. All right, so let's move on to our positive affirmation out of the Dolphin Mermaid deck. And see what we get for positive affirmation. Five years movement. It's a good year for creativity. It's really a good year to embrace creativity. My sister is doing some really cool stuff, new stuff that she hadn't done before, and she's actually like refinishing furniture, and oh my god, it looks amazing. And yeah, it's just amazing. And then my friend started a few years ago. He had said to me that he was interested in doing stained glass, and he started doing that the other day. And yeah, it's a really, 5 years are great years to be creative. They support that, and the movement is supportive of that too. Now, I know that I've talked to you guys about your own personal year, and I've never told you how simple that is to calculate. So if you want to know where you are in your own personal year, you take your birthday. So you take the month that you were born. Let's say you were born on January. So that would be 1. And let's say that you were born on the 16th. You would take January 16th, right? So in numerology, you would take 16. You would go 1 plus 6. That's 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. And then you add it to your current year. So you would add 8 to 2021, right? And then once you get that, you reduce it. You always reduce down to a single digit. And that's how you find your own personal year. Which is always good to know, because you know the universal year is 5. That's chaos, that's movement. What's your personal year? How does that vibrate with that? How's that going to affect your ebb and flow? All right, so our first positive affirmation is synchronicity. It's a really pretty card too. Look at that with the dolphins. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God, crystals and dolphins. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Okay, so your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. Now, I always say the more we validate our intuition, the more our intuition will validate us. The more we do that, remember we've been being asked to tap in for a while now. The more we do that, the more signs we get. The more signs and the more synchronicities. So watch for your synchronicities. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. All right, so now let's pull a positive affirmation, another positive affirmation for Valentine's Day. What is the positive thing that we can focus on Valentine's Day, the day where, you know, it is known far and wide to be the day of showing our unconditional love? What can we focus on that day? I hope you all have been having an amazing year personally within. I hope that you're doing whatever it takes to keep yourselves, your vibrations lifted and your spirits up, and keep moving forward in positive directions. I wish you all an amazing new moon. New moons are all about that darkness, that stillness, tapping in, getting in touch with our intuition, being still. And I hope you all have an amazing Valentine's Day, and that you're able to share it with the people that you love and that love you. All right, I think we're there. What is our Valentine's Day? Ooh, pay attention. Notice repetition signs in your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So that's a really nice positive affirmation, and I'm curious how that will pan out for us all on Valentine's Day. Pay attention. Notice repetitious signs in your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information on Valentine's Day, which reduces to a 5. Just so you know. All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. I hope life is good, and I will see you all next time for the full moon. Until then, enjoy.